cardio because I think that sometimes cardio gets a bad rap in the strength training community, myself included. And that I think that's mostly because people start with cardio alone on their fitness journey. And that's because it's easily accessible. It doesn't require a lot of equipment, especially if you're just walking or running. It's cheap and there's not a huge learning curve. But where most people end up frustrated is the lack of fat loss results or the transformation results. And they kind of say, screw cardio and go the opposite direction, which in essence seems good, but really we need the combination of both for our health as a whole. So just like with food, variety is best. And although I'm certainly very biased to strength training, it is just as equally important to incorporate cardio into our routine because it helps take care of different systems. So obviously strength training is good for our muscle metabolism because muscle is what burns calories for us at rest, no matter what we do. It also increases or strengthens our bone health, and it's good for our central nervous system. But cardio, on the other hand, is responsible for strengthening our heart and improving our circulation, lowering blood pressure, and maintaining our cholesterol levels. It's also important for our endurance. So sometimes there's an overlap, right? We need to work on our cardio to increase our endurance so that we can strength train better in the gym. You know exactly what I'm talking about if you have gone up and done a set of squats and you're panting and absolutely cooked after one set. That can be improved. That kind of lack of oxygen can be improved by regular cardio sessions to increase your stamina and your ability to sustain physical activity for longer periods of time, or managing your breath while you're doing your working sets in your strength training sessions. And then also burning calories. I hate to associate exercise and movement with burning calories because that's not really what we do it for. But cardio does encourage your body to use food as energy rather than storing fat. So I think that that is a more accurate depiction of what cardio is good for. It's not just the calories that you're burning while you're completing the cardio, it's what you're teaching your body to do through cardio. So you're teaching your body to burn food energy rather than storing it as fat, which is very important. And then, of course, lastly, it enhances your lung function and increases your lung capacity and efficiency, improving your oxygen intake and carbon dioxide removal. So there are two kinds of cardio that you can do. Probably heard of both. The first one is HIIT style training, and this became really popularized because you can do a pretty intense workout in a short amount of time. And in this day and age, everybody feels like they don't have enough time, not enough hours in the day. So it is a very popular option because it involves these short bursts of pretty intense activity, followed by periods of rest or low intensity exercises. So these workouts are shorter, ranging from 20 to 30 minutes. And there's a whole lot of them on YouTube. There's a lot of classes that are HIIT styles, like structured. So they're pretty prevalent and pretty popular, pretty easily accessible. And you could also use this format for sprinting and running, cycling at high speeds and then tinkering down to lower speeds, body weight exercises like burpees performed at maximum effort or for a short duration and then a rest. And then also my personal favorite, using the stair stepper on a higher, like a higher incline or a higher resistance, switching it down to a lower resistance. You could do the same thing with an elliptical or a treadmill. So the benefits of a HIIT style workout. It burns a lot of calories in a short amount of time. I'm going to use a lot in take it with a grain of salt because typical HIIT workouts, they burn anywhere between 12 to 15 calories a minute per your workout. And then there is like this afterburn effect that is about 10% of the overall calories that you burned throughout the workout. So my point in telling you this is not to get attached again to the amount of calories that you're burning during the workout, because we don't want to associate our movement with calorie burn. We do it because it's good for our body. So this could look like, maybe you work out for 20 minutes and you burn, let's say 300 calories from, I don't know if that math works out, 12 to 15 calories per minute for 30 minutes. Maybe that comes out to 300 calories. Let's just say, for sake of conversation, the afterburn is only 10 to 20% of the calories you burned in that increment. So that's like an extra 30 calories over the course of the next few hours. It's not a ton. Okay, so it is something, but it's not a ton. So I think a lot of people get excited about this epoch and make it the end all be all, where HIIT workouts are the most incredible thing because they have this afterburn effect. It is true that they do, but it's not huge. And at the end of the day, we're not necessarily doing this cardio or any type of cardio for the metabolic return. We're doing it really for the strength and health of our body, and also for training our body to burn calories as energy. All right. And it improves our cardiovascular health. Both of these types of cardio do. Improves our endurance, and it can help maintain muscle mass while losing fat. This is more specific to doing, let's say, body weight exercises, if we were doing burpees, or doing a HIIT class that included some body weights and also low weights through a lot of repetition, right? They're not meant for building muscle, but because you're utilizing muscle through the exercise, it helps to keep it strong and maintain it. So I think sometimes that's where there is some confusion between especially HIIT classes versus actually strength training out on the gym floor. You will never be able to build muscle past your body weight if you're doing body weight exercises, or if you're doing, let's say, 30 reps of something in 30 seconds to a minute, that is an interval in a HIIT class. The amount of weight that you're using is too light to actually instigate true muscle failure and breakdown so that the muscle can repair itself and grow itself bigger. So we're not growing muscle here, but you can maintain your strength and maintain some of your muscle mass while you're doing this activity. The intensity can be demanding on the body and might not be suitable for everyone, especially if you're a beginner or if you have pre-existing health conditions. But there's a lot of low impact HIIT designed workouts nowadays that you can get away with, that will still increase your heart rate to a high enough level so that you can reap the benefits. But the recovery does take a little bit longer as opposed to the low intensity. It's all relative. So you might need 2 days, depending on your fitness level. You might need 2 days to recover from, say, a HIIT class versus a long walk through the city for hours on a certain given day. All right, so that is HIIT interval training. Let's move into low intensity state, steady state cardio. This is anything that's you're walking, jogging, swimming, cycling at a steady rate. And it's typically longer workouts ranging from 45 minutes to an hour or more. This would be reaching your step goal outside or walking on your step pad at a constant rate or relatively constant rate. It's pretty much anything that is a moderate intensity low to moderate intensity that's just at a steady state. So the benefits of low intensity steady state cardio is accessibility. Very easy to do this type of exercise anywhere. Most people don't have a hard time recovering from it, especially if it's something like walking. Fat burning, in loose terms, it's effective for burning fat, especially when done for longer periods of time, right? Because we can train the body to burn energy or burn calories as energy, right? We have to make sure that our muscle metabolism is healthy before we rely on this for burning fat. And then mental health. I think this is probably the most underrated benefit of low intensity steady state. It's almost meditative and can help reduce stress. It's not super intense, and the constant state allows your mind to either wander or focus on changing your environment. I have grown up walking my whole life. I feel like it's the easiest form of stress relief that I can readily do at pretty much any given day. I know that sometimes it is weather permitting, but for the most part, it's a really easy, accessible stress relief tool that you can use that is really, really helpful and beneficial in managing your stress hormones, right? Like your cortisol levels. So even I would say this mental health benefit, if you're thinking about what certain things contribute to your metabolism, right? Your hormone health is up there, probably in the top 3 contributors to how your metabolism is functioning. So if your stress hormones are through the roof, right? Even though we're not walking to burn a ton of calories necessarily, and it's not going to dip into a whole lot of fat burn per se, the benefit that it has, on our hormones can positively impact our metabolism. So overall, in total, our body can have a healthier burn or a more efficient burn and help us rebuild our body and give us a better body composition just through walking, because it helps relieve stress. That was kind of long-winded, but I think you get my point. So the drawbacks is it is time consuming. I don't know, this could be a drawback or a benefit. I feel like it's time well spent, but it does require more time to achieve a similar calorie burn to HIIT, right? But again, it's not always about the calorie burn. It can be for the hormone balance. It can be for the mental health. That's really what the greatest benefit of doing these types of exercises are for, as well as the circulation that, is good for our health and the cardiovascular strengthening and our heart strengthening. But it's the mental benefit, really, I think, for the low intensity state, and which is really why all of you have step goals and all of you have a goal to move every single day, because it helps keep our head in the right space and helps balance our hormones over time. And the last drawback is plateaus. This is kind of what I touched on, I think, why it gets such a bad rap. It will not give you all the results that you're looking for. If you have aggressive goals and you want to change your body composition, you want to see different curves in your body than currently exist, you're not going to make that happen with just walking or cycling or swimming alone, right? It has to be combined with not only HIIT cardio, but with strength training too, because that's how we build up the muscle to give us that toned definition, and also to burn more calories at rest so that we don't have to be worried about every single thing we put in our mouth and whether or not that's going to make us gain weight. All right, so the biggest differences between our HIIT and LISS is HIIT involves short bursts and maximum effort, while LISS involves constant low intensity effort, different time commitments, the calorie burn and metabolic effect, and the suitability, right? Because LISS can be performed by almost anyone, but HIIT has a lot of different levels that you could probably incorporate, even if you are a beginner. But ultimately, it's both HIIT and LISS that are combined to make a well-rounded fitness routine. But it's really dependent, and the incorporation is dependent on your goals, your personal preferences, and ability. So I want to explain this. When you are going through your metabolic reboot, right? And we're working on increasing calories, we're working on balancing your hormones, we're working on improving your digestion and your gut health so that your metabolism can burn more freely. That is when we really lean into LISS, right? Because it's leisurely, helps you manage your stress. It teaches the body to burn more calories as we are loading a higher intake. So it helps train the body to start to release energy rather than storing it as fat. Okay, that's our primary focus when it comes to rebooting your metabolism. Now, when we transition into your fat loss phase, that's a very different goal in terms of nutrition and your workout. So we'll still maintain our step goal. We'll still do the LISS because it's good for our health. It's good for our daily movement, but we'll also start to incorporate HIIT. And this is because it is higher intensity and it does put stress on the body in a different way because there are different spurts of intensity. So it'll cause your body to pull energy in different sources, right? Depending on if there's oxygen present or if there's not. So this is almost like if you think about a gun, like a pistol that's got rounds of bullets in the chamber. As we go through the fat loss phase, we want to have rounds of bullets in the chamber as we go. So when we start to lower your calories, that's a bullet that we can shoot off in the chamber. When we think about increasing your LISS or your step goal, that's a bullet in the chamber. When we incorporate maybe a 20-minute HIIT with one of your core days, that's another bullet in the chamber. And then if we decide to put you in a little bit of a deeper calorie deficit, that's another bullet in the chamber. So as you go through this fat loss phase, we want to have lots of different tools in our pocket to inspire change and change the equation, the energy balance equation, as we go through, so that when you hit plateaus, we have something to try and something else to rely on so that we can keep switching things up to get your body responsive. So both are important, both have amazing health benefits, but really we can use them strategically through our weight loss and fat loss journey because they can serve as different bullets in our chamber. All right, that's really all I have